What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. Remember, before we get to those pitches, hit that subscribe button. Be a part of the biggest and best daily baseball show on YouTube. You'll never regret it. And now, without further ado, here are my filthiest pitches of the day. I'm going to start out with Jesus Luzardo, the Jesus Lizard, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 1 run. He had these sliders, getting swords, and these overpowering fastballs. Clark Schmidt had 7 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 2 runs, and had these knuckle curves and got a sword. George Kirby was really good with 9 Ks in 7 innings, giving up no runs. He had this hammer curveball, wicked sliders, and nasty two-seamers, as well as this paintish 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Kirby's ERA this year is now 2.62. He's given up only 3 walks all year versus 35 strikeouts. Just amazing command for a young pitcher, and I talked to Kirby about his command. Your command is off the charts good, and it's kind of always been that good. At least I know it was in college and coming up. Is that the way you were even as a kid? Like just really good command, or no?
No, I actually had a pretty hard time throwing strikes like Little League. I kind of made that transition my first year in college. It was more just like kind of a confidence thing, just like, hitting's hard. So here's my fastball and here's my other pitches, and I'm going to try and beat you in the zone. So it was kind of just a mentality thing for me. And I just, kept doing it.
Kirby faced Andrew Heaney, who had 7 Ks in 6 2/3 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had this fastball and slider. Jordan Lyles had 6 Ks in 9 innings, pitched a complete game. Nice. He didn't win. Not nice. But had these dirty curveballs and sweepers. He faced Lucas Giolito, who went 6 innings with 9 Ks. Also nice, and gave up only 2 runs. He relied on his overpowering fastballs, and I love these little kicks he does. After throwing those fastballs, it's almost like a kid trying to kick down pins in bowling. You can see Giolito's confidence in his body language, and especially on this K where he turns around and sticks his tongue out. A really good outing from Giolito, and he looks to be back at the top of his game. Grayson Rodriguez had this 99-mile-an-hour fastball and this changeup on his way to 4 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. And he faced off against Zach Eflin, who had 4 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 4 runs. He had this sinker and painted fastball. Louis Varland was solid with 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 1 earned run. He relied on his changeup, cutters, sliders, and fastballs. And he faced Michael Wacha, who had 4 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 1 run, and had this changeup. Connor Seabold had 3 Ks in 5 innings, giving up only 1 run, and had this White Castle special. Aaron Nola had his mix of changeups and knuckle curves, and had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 2 runs. And here's an overlay of his 91-mile-an-hour fastball and 78-mile-an-hour knuckle curve. And you can see how that fastball-knuckle curve combo can be a nightmare for a hitter. That curveball just disappears. Nola outdueled Alek Manoah, who only had 1 K on this fastball in 4 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs. Charlie Morton was really good yesterday with 7 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 2 runs, thanks to his 3,000 RPM curveballs. And this was really impressive. Yoshida had not swung and missed in the entire month of May so far, and Charlie Morton amazingly got him to whiff 3 times in a row with these hammer curveballs. Sick stuff from Charlie F. and Morton. Logan Webb had 7 Ks in 7 innings, giving up only 1 run, and had these changeups and sliders. Shane Bieber went 6 scoreless innings with 9 Ks, nice, and lowered his ERA this year to 2.61. Yes, the reports of Shane Bieber's demise have been greatly exaggerated. Bieber got this slider that was slightly low, called for a strike. I mean, umpires have to stop relying on Flo, the spokesperson from Progressive, to call balls and strikes. She's just ringing up everybody over there. Bieber also had these dirty knuckle curves, and you may wonder why he gets so many swings on breaking stuff out of the zone, especially since he doesn't throw particularly hard anymore. Well, here's some overlays that show how great Shane Bieber is at tunneling. Bieber is a master at disguising his pitches, and regardless of the velocity of him, it is really tough to hit when you tunnel this well. Hitters think they're getting fastballs, but they end up getting breaking stuff that dives to the dirt. So even though Bieber isn't throwing 95 anymore, his stuff is still filthy, and he's just outsmarting hitters. In the marquee matchup of the day, Shohei Ohtani faced off against Framber Valdez. Ohtani had 7 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 3 runs, and his stuff was filthy. He had these sweepers that broke up to 23 inches. Again, his sweeper is like a frisbee. He also had sinkers that ran up to 21 inches arm side. He had his upper 90s fastball and painted with this one. And then he almost painted with this 98-mile-an-hour fastball. He didn't get the call, and look at Shohei with the pout. He totally has his lip out, like his mom said, "You're going to bed without dessert." And no video games either. Dude is freaking hilarious. And here's an overlay of Shohei's 97-mile-an-hour sinker with 18 inches of run and an 85-mile-an-hour sweeper with 17 inches of break the other way. Look how brutally unfair this pitch combination is. My man is an absolute alien. And despite all this filthy stuff, Shohei was outdueled by yesterday's filthiest pitcher of the day, Framber Valdez. Valdez had 12 Ks in 8 innings, giving up only 1 run, and had no walks. He had a vicious mix of sinkers, curveballs, cutters, and changeups. And this combo dominated the Angels hitters all night. Here is an overlay of Framber's changeup and cutter, and you can see how well he tunnels those pitches, which can lead to a lot of frustration for hitters. Now on to my filthiest relievers. Felix Bautista had this painted splitter. Cue the saxophone. Alexis Diaz had these wicked sliders. Camilo Doval had these sliders, and here's one of them from a home plate view, and also this 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Clay Holmes had these wicked sliders and sinkers. James Karinchak had this hammer curveball. Justin Brule had this nasty sinker. Ryan Presley had these wicked curveballs. Sam Henches had this dirty curveball. Brent Suter had this filthy changeup. Trevor Richards had these totally dirty changeups. And filthy changeups can make any hitter frustrated, as you hear from Bryce Harper with the F-bomb. Brusdar Graterol had this slider for a sword and 97-mile-an-hour two-seamer, getting the jackknife out of the way. And my filthiest pitch from a reliever yesterday was this 90-mile-an-hour changeup from Yennier Cano, who seemingly makes this list every day. And here's an overlay of that 90-mile-an-hour changeup with Cano's sinker, and you can see how filthy that is. And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. Let's start the day off with some Savannah bananas. Now this is starting the day off right. I also did this overlay of my man Nick Swisher facing 2 different arm slots from this Savannah Bananas pitcher. My man Swish doesn't get fooled by this chicanery. Really impressive hitting. What is up, everybody? My picks of the day today are a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to start with Merrill Kelly for 5 Ks or more, then take Josiah Gray for 6 Ks or more, top it off with Kevin Gausman for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?